Hi, I'm Michelle. Welcome back to Finally Revealed. In today's video, I want to talk to you about a different type of a topic. This one involves empathy, or actually it's all about empathy. People talk about sympathy, empathy, and different other types of traits that we as human beings exhibit in our behavior. It's a connection between our actions and our emotions. It helps us to interact with each other and to form cohesiveness in our family, in our personal relationships, at work, and within society. Empathy is the understanding, the ability to understand, not just with people, but it could also be animals, other animals, as we're animals, the ability to understand how another person or animal is feeling in a given situation from that animal or that person's point of view. So it's different from sympathy, which is understanding or a knowing of how someone might feel, but empathy is actually feeling and sharing in the feeling, the ability to share in the feeling of that person or animal in a situation. Could be a physical feeling, an emotional feeling like fear, love, terror, concern. Obviously, physical is going to be pain, some type of pain on a scale. Could be even somebody accidentally or not knowingly taking a chip with really hot habanero sauce. And if that ever happened to you, or you have an ultra sensitivity to peppers, you know that their mouth is on fire. And people talk about this ability to empathize with people, and they talk about it from the person who's having the empathy. But something that I noticed, unfortunately for me, I experienced being with someone in a couple of different situations, and this person lacked empathy. And nobody really gives a good example of what it will be like, or what you should notice and recognize it as a lack of empathy. And that's what I want to help with today. So I'll give a couple of my examples. I was walking down a street and was going to cross the street, and I tripped and fell on a curb, and I landed splayed into the street, and it hurt. Okay, and my belongings fell out in front of me, and I was bleeding. I hurt. My arms hurt because when I fell down on my hands and my knees, and I was with a person who had no reaction. No reaction verbally, no reaction as far as coming to help me get up, as far as gathering the belongings. And all I can describe is that it was a cold feeling, as if I was completely alone. And we can get into another video and talk about how you might interact with this person, and but if you're the example would be if someone has had an animal in their life die, or a person in their life die, and you are sharing this information with a person, a friend of yours, a coworker, a family member. And what is their reaction? Do they say, I'm sorry, that has to, whether or not they've ever experienced this, they can still have empathy with you if they have the ability to empathize. So how are they acting towards you? Do they talk to you about it? Do they show you that they understand that this has to be heartbreaking, and ask if they can do something for you, or share an experience that they had in a similar situation, or one that they heard of? Do they offer any type of comfort to you or connection? Really what this is talking about is connection. Do you feel like there is any type of connection? If someone had a death in the family, a family member, a beloved pet, if someone sent you a poem talking about death in a cold, callous, uncaring, just as if they had Googled death poem and sent it without reading at all, like they were just checking a box, and you receive that, I would suggest you have a conversation with that person again and say, what do you think I'm feeling? Has this happened to you, and how did you feel? Because this is a situation where you want to know, does this person have the capacity to feel as you are feeling or any other person would feel in this situation? And that's really important on whether you, how you deal with this person going forward. My final example would be a tragedy, a child kidnapping, a car wreck, a house fire, a loss of a job, or even something relatively small, getting chewed out at work for being late, being at school and turning in an assignment late, or somebody getting an assignment completely wrong, and the whole class got it one way and one person is singled out as getting it wrong. That happened to a friend of mine, and we were all very, that had never happened to any of us, but we could understand how she felt. We could relate to her as a human being, that she was embarrassed, that she was humiliated, that she felt bad, that she was getting a bad grade, that she went off on a totally different tangent. There were other things, circumstances that contributed to this, but we didn't ridicule her. We didn't, pile on. And those types of things, a reaction, a further blaming could be an example of a lack of empathy. So if you are in a situation and someone reacts completely opposite of everyone else that you've ever dealt with, or how you would feel, or not feel, but how you would react, talk with them. If it's someone that you deal with regularly, don't confront them about it, but see if you can talk with them, if that's even possible, and ask them some questions, and then in your own mind evaluate whether or not this person lacks empathy. And then you can do some other research on what you should do from there. But it's a huge red flag. It's a huge red flag. And I wish you well. But I hope that this is helpful to you. If it was, please leave a comment. Feel free to like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you next time. Thanks.